Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Liz Wright, if we have not met before, and I am a professor of psychology at Northwest Vista College in San Antonio, Texas. I've been doing these videos almost every day. I think I forgot yesterday. In order to share different research results that I've been finding, share ideas, share information, all relating to psychology. And today, I want to talk to my college students, not just my college students, but any college students who are watching this video. And it doesn't matter if you're a psychology major or if you are a business major or a history major, whatever floats your boat. I want to give you some encouragement. This is usually the end of like week 1, maybe week 2, depending on where you go to school. And right now you might be feeling overwhelmed. You might be feeling like there's so much going on. You don't know how to get organized. You don't know if you're ever going to get organized. And you might be worried that you're going to fall behind, that you're going to do poorly. You might have all of these cascading thoughts of like, I'm, not going to pass on this assignment, and then I'm going to fail for the semester, and then I'm never going to finish college. And we want to stop that whole cascade, and we want to remind ourselves of the progress we have made in our lives. Keep in mind that you were at one point, as we all were, 2 cells that combined to make 1 cell that then replicated itself. Once you were born, you had very little abilities, and you have learned throughout your life to do so many different things. It may be that you learned to walk. It may be that you learned to talk. It may be like that you learned to feed yourself. All of those things are things that required practice, determination, and learning, right? And so if you're thinking to yourself, this is too much, I can't do it. One thing we need to remind ourselves, we need to reframe something that's new, something that's challenging, as a opportunity. And yes, it is new. And it is something that maybe you haven't done before, or that you have done before, maybe you didn't do as well. But if we think about a new thing as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to gain feedback, as an opportunity to progress in our field, then those overwhelming challenges become more like steps towards the process that we are making. So thinking about, making my writing better can make me a better employee when I go into the job that I want to do, or make me a better, self-employed person, because we're all going to have to write to communicate with others. So thinking about progress as opposed to perfection is going to be important as well. I can't think of anybody that really thinks that they are perfect, like actually thinks it, not just like looks like they think it. And to be honest, I don't think that any of us could actually be perfect. But what we want to see is that we are progressing, that we're learning, that we're applying what we're learning, that we are making changes in our work, in our behaviors that are moving us towards becoming a professional in our field. So all of this work that you're doing is helping you to become a professional in your field, to give you the base knowledge that you need in order to become a professional in your field, to give you the skills, both the soft skills, meaning communication, writing, and also the hard skills such as knowledge in your field that you need in order to reach your goals, whatever your goals may be. Another thing that you're going to see a lot of during your college career is feedback. Some instructors are good at providing feedback that both tells you what you're doing well and where you can improve. And they're good at putting it in a way that doesn't sound like they're trying to be mean. So even when we talk about the idea of constructive criticism, people hear the word criticism and they're like, sorry, I was interrupted by a very excited child who had finished the ending of his video game. So we are going to receive constructive criticism. And a lot of times we hear the word criticism and that and we're like, oh, criticism. No, I don't like that. But the constructive part basically is telling us what we did wrong and how to do better the next time. And so that's what's really important in terms of your development as a professional in your field, is to learn from your mistakes and make changes to your work. And hopefully you will have instructors that will offer this constructive criticism and say, you did a great job on XYZ. And this part here needs to be updated a little bit to include B, C, and F variables, right? And I look forward to seeing your progress on your next assignment. And I've had students that, I do a lot of revise and resubmits and give that constructive feedback and say, okay, this part's good, but we need to fix this here. And so there's been times where I've given, I give one student 7 revise and resubmits because for some reason they just couldn't understand what it was that I was trying to explain to them. I Zoomed with them, I sent them emails, I sent them videos, and they just couldn't understand. And then eventually they got it and they passed in a paper that was passing. And they wrote on their student evaluation that they were thankful that I was patient with them and continued to work with them. I've had other students that when I asked them to revise and resubmit, drop my class and call me the B word in the Rate My Professor that they posted. So I want you to keep in mind that as we progress through our development, we are going to get feedback. Some of it's not going to be good. Some of it's going to be you need to change X, Y, and Z because of these things. And we need to take those things into account. And we need to change our work, our writing, our behavior, how we present ourselves to other people, if we want to become a professional in our field. Um, and sometimes we think about social norms and professionalism, um, and a lot of times, especially when we're younger, we think, well, I'll just stand out, I'll be different. And I understand that belief and I recognize why you would think that. But what you will come to realize, unfortunately, is that standing out and being different in particular ways is okay. In other ways, people might look down on you for it, or people might think less of you for it. So one example I can give you is cursing. Cursing during, presentations or something like that. I've had instructors who told me that, I did a good presentation, but at one point I got emotional about something and I cursed. And they said that that kind of drew them out of the professionalism of the presentation, and that it kind of negatively colored their view of the rest of the presentation. And so if we become known as the person that does that, curses during their presentations, our peers, our colleagues, those people above us may start to think, well, do we really want this person representing us if they go to a national conference or something like that? Do we really want to hire this person? So we need to take the feedback that we get from people, and we need to recognize that at some point we are going to need to change our behaviors if we want to be successful in our field. And I'm not saying, everybody needs to conform, but what I am saying is there are going to be certain instances where, yeah, you're going to have to change your behaviors in order to be accepted in your field, and maybe even to, progress or move up in your field. Otherwise, if you continue to behave in the ways that people tell you are not working well for you professionally, then you might end up not moving up as you want to. So really thinking about your goals and going, okay, do I want to become a full professor? Then maybe I do need to change my behavior so that I can be accepted as part of this group that I want to be accepted as. So this week has probably been a little bit overwhelming. I want you to make a list of all of the things that you need to do, and make each assignment or activity, break it down into small bite-sized pieces. Bite-sized pieces that you can do while sitting down for, 10 or 15 minutes. And then do small pieces at a time. And that way it doesn't feel as overwhelming. It's as, the cliche of how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So we will get through this and you will succeed one bite at a time.